What happens when a famous political figure checks into her husband's luxury hotel and the receptionist refuses to serve her? What started as a quiet check-in turned into a viral firestorm that shocked the internet. This isn't just drama. This is a real-life lesson in politics, professionalism, and public backlash. You won't believe how it all ends. You won't believe what happened when Pam Bondi walked into the hotel lobby. It was a picture-perfect Florida afternoon at the elegant Bayshore Grand Hotel in Tampa. Sunlight streamed through the lobby's tall glass windows. The scent of citrus-infused candles lingered in the air, and hotel staff moved efficiently behind the check-in desk. Everything felt like a normal, routine day. That was until the grand glass doors slid open, and in walked Pam Bondi. To some, she's a former state official, but to many, especially in Florida, she's a political heavyweight, former attorney general, a high-profile attorney, and one of Donald Trump's closest allies. Her face had been on national television during major legal battles. She was no stranger to controversy or attention. And on this day, she wasn't arriving as a public figure. She was checking in for a peaceful, private weekend stay. No cameras, no fanfare, just some time to unwind. What made her arrival even more significant? The Bayshore Grand wasn't just a luxury hotel. It was owned in part by her husband, a respected figure in Florida's hospitality scene. In many ways, this was Pam coming home. But waiting at the front desk was Sierra, a newly hired receptionist with a freshly printed hospitality degree and a fire for politics. Her co-workers described her as intelligent but outspoken. She proudly displayed progressive pins on her tote bag, followed political trends closely, and had even gotten into heated debates during staff breaks. While many kept their opinions to themselves at work, Sierra made hers known. The moment she saw Pam Bondi's name pop up on the reservation system, her energy shifted. She leaned to a fellow employee and whispered, "Wait, is that the Pam Bondi?" Confirmation came with a quiet nod. Sierra's face hardened. She squared her shoulders and prepared herself, not for excellent service, but for what she would later call a moment of protest. As Pam walked up to the counter with a warm smile and gave her name, Sierra didn't respond with a welcome. She didn't reach for the keyboard or ask for an ID. Instead, she crossed her arms and said bluntly, "I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable checking you in." Pam blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" Sierra didn't back down. "We don't serve people who support election denial and hate." The lobby fell silent. Staff froze. Guests stared. One man at the elevator even paused mid-step. Pam didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. She calmly stepped aside, took out her phone, and made a call. The fallout from that moment? Just wait until you hear what happened next. Pam Bondi walked up to the front desk with her trademark confidence. Calm, composed, and dressed in a simple yet elegant blazer, she gave the kind of smile you'd expect from someone used to dealing with high-stakes media and legal drama. She set her bag on the counter, pulled out her ID, and said with polite ease, "Hi, checking in, Pam Bondi." But before she could even hand over her ID, Sierra, the young receptionist behind the counter, folded her arms and delivered a line that stopped time. "Sorry, we don't serve people who support election denialism." The words hit the air like a thunderclap. At first it didn't register. People nearby looked up, brows furrowed, unsure they heard correctly. The concierge standing across the room dropped a stack of papers. A couple at the check-in kiosk glanced over in shock. The tension was immediate and thick. Pam remained calm, her expression shifting from confusion to subtle disbelief. She raised an eyebrow and replied with measured firmness, "Excuse me?" But instead of stepping back or softening her tone, Sierra doubled down. "I know exactly who you are. I don't feel comfortable checking you in. You're not welcome here." Gasps, audible ones, from guests, from staff, even from a bellhop near the elevator. It wasn't just the disrespect, it was the audacity. This wasn't a random hotel guest. Pam Bondi's husband partially owned the building. This was in many ways her hotel. Another staff member quickly approached, whispering urgently to Sierra and trying to calm things down. But it was too late. The moment had already gone too far. Without saying another word, Pam calmly stepped aside, pulled out her phone, and made 2 calls, one to the general manager and one to her husband. 15 minutes later, the lobby saw something rare. the general manager himself rushing out of the executive offices. He greeted Pam personally, apologized profusely, and insisted on walking her to a private suite on the top floor. Upgrades were made, a bouquet of fresh flowers was waiting, a handwritten apology was delivered. All of it done swiftly and quietly, but word had already spread. As for Sierra, by the end of her shift, she was asked to turn in her badge and escort out of the staff-only areas, suspended pending an HR investigation. Some say she left in tears, ranting about freedom of speech. Others say she stormed out without a word. But one thing was crystal clear. What she thought was a bold political stand ended up costing her more than she ever imagined. Once the story hit the internet, all bets were off. A guest who had been in the lobby during the confrontation had quietly filmed part of the exchange and posted a short clip on TikTok. Within hours, it exploded. Millions of views, thousands of comments, and the kind of viral storm that no hotel, no staff member, and no public figure can ever really prepare for. The reactions? Absolutely explosive. Conservatives quickly rallied behind Pam Bondi, praising her calm, composed response and calling the incident a perfect example of how political bias is seeping into spaces that should remain neutral, like hospitality. Hashtags like "Stand with Pam," "Our Service Not Politics," and "Keep It Professional" trended on Twitter, now called X, for nearly 48 hours. Popular conservative commentators jumped in. One said, if a Trump supporter refused to check in a Democrat, there'd be national outrage. This double standard needs to stop. Others even went as far as calling for Sierra to be blacklisted from the hospitality industry, claiming her actions crossed the line from political expression into professional misconduct. Liberal voices, meanwhile, were divided. Some backed Sierra's stance, praising her for standing up for her beliefs. But even among those sympathetic to her cause, many agreed she had gone too far. One progressive blogger wrote, "You can't mix personal politics with public service. Her heart might have been in the right place, but the job wasn't." Mainstream media picked up the story, and soon it was everywhere. A popular Fox News host called the incident a shocking display of political discrimination in an industry that should be welcoming to all. Meanwhile, a guest on CNN framed it as a teachable moment, saying, "This is a reminder, your workplace is not your soapbox. There are boundaries." And Pam? She didn't go on a media tour. She didn't demand Sierra's firing or stir up a campaign. Instead, she let her actions speak for themselves. Later that evening, Pam posted a simple message to her Instagram story. Just one line, but it made waves. Always treat people with kindness even when they don't return it. Proud to support businesses that put professionalism first. That post was shared, reposted, quoted, and praised across social media. It became a symbol of grace under pressure, and a reminder of why Pam Bondi remains a formidable public figure. As for Sierra, her fate is still up in the air. But one thing is certain. The hotel has since launched a full internal review and implemented new training to ensure political beliefs. Never interfere with guest treatment again. So what started as a routine hotel check-in quickly spiraled into a national firestorm, a viral moment of conflict, consequence, and conversation. Just one sentence, one mistake, one major fallout, and it all unfolded in the lobby of a hotel where Pam Bondi wasn't just a guest, she was family. So what do you think? Was Sierra standing up for her beliefs? Or did she cross the line? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading them all. If you found this story as jaw-dropping as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And hit that bell icon so you never miss another wild, real-life story like this one. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the biggest headlines start with the smallest moments.